Okay, alrighty. So starting the timer now. Hello, today we will be presenting on the Fourth Symphony of Johannes Brahms. The fourth and final symphony in E minor. This is really standard repertoire, so just a quick show of hands. Who here knows the symphony? Okay, who here knows the symphony very well, you would say? Okay, who here has played the symphony? Okay, so our intention today, we really don't have very much time, and we know some of you know it very well, some of you only are just beginning to learn about this wonderful music. So hopefully we can provide you with some insights which can enrich your playing, your listening experience. So, all right, I'm going to begin by doing something a little bit theatrical. I'm just going to play you a bunch of short little snippets, and I might say a word or two, but I'm just going to, I think this is a very efficient way to illustrate one or two key points of this first component of the presentation. Okay. Okay. Next slide, please. So it's the same music, direct quotation. It was mentioned before, this idea of sampling, or this is straight up, well, I don't want to say stealing, because of course Brahms erects this monumental architecture based on this idea by Beethoven. But indeed, Brahms, the great musicologist, knows the music of the past, and he is willing to steal. Okay, next slide, please. Yes. Okay, continue the Passacaglia. Next slide. And fragments into smaller ideas like Beethoven, but and then the mirror image going up. Next slide, please. All the notes of the B minor scale except for this one. So extended tertian harmony, much like what's found in jazz. Wonderful music. Or he could be even more chromatic. Yeah? Oh, Toad. Oh, death. Oh, Toad. Oh, Toad. F sharp major, the key of God. So, and then this very quickly. Oh man, we're already running out of time. From the Adagio of the Hammerklavier Sonata by Beethoven in 1818, so 67 years before the piece. And I don't need to play that example, just stating that the idea of the Passacaglia is also presented at the ending of the first phrase of the first movement. Okay, so, well, we hear quite a few things. Next slide, please. Brahms is not only, Bach has to be the biggest one, Brahms is not only a master composer, of course, but he is also really one of the great musicologists of all time. He really knew every single note that was written before. And as we can hear, this enables him to, you could say borrow, you could say steal, take these compositional ideas. It was really important that I played you that passage from the Hammerklavier because, I mean, copyright law did not exist yet, but it's a progression, a melody like that is kind of inevitable if you are to, like Beethoven did with the whole Hammerklavier sonata, if you were to do what Brahms did with the Fourth Symphony, to write a big structure based on this idea of descending thirds, it's kind of inevitable that you will have this sort of melodic contour. So, yes, next slide, please. Yeah, so those were what I just played you. We hear many things in this symphony. Brahms the craftsman, Brahms the classicist. Of course, he's writing in these standard sonata allegro forms. Brahms the musicologist, the last movement, which is this sort of huge Baroque adoption of the Passacaglia, the chaconne, into symphonic form. And also Brahms the progressive, which is the topic of this famous essay by Arnold Schoenberg, which is assigned to me for another class, where he talks about how Brahms, despite this relationship of being, or this image of him as being kind of a traditionalist, he is doing really, really innovative stuff. And then, so harmony is this sort of going down, and then the mirror image reflected up this sort of oscillation. Not quite, it's diatonically contained, unlike Wagner, but still very, very innovative. And yeah, that's the Hammerklavier sonata. Next slide, please. Yeah, and this is different than tonal harmony usually, because the dominant, of course, is a fifth away from the tonic, subdominant, fourth down from the tonic, yeah? It's a new way of thinking of harmony. Next slide. Yeah, so this is example contradicting this typical view of Brahms. And to end my portion, there's this quote by Hugo Wolf, who wrote some crazy art song saying, "Brahms has mastered the art of composing without ideas." But it is precisely by making something out of really nothing that's where the real compositional craft and really masterful thinking of Brahms lies. So now I'll turn it over to Mr. Chun to talk about the fourth movement.